In today's society, it has become so easy for us to see a gay couple or a gay person without being frazzled or taken back by the sight. For example, it's on TV shows we watch every day.
Hey, that's annoying. Hang on, let me just get this up.
Often lumped together, gay men and lesbians have less in common than one might think.
Like in the Venn diagram of sexual identity, you have gay men
And straight men, both the same gender.
then you have gay men.
And straight women, both attracted to the same gender. But gay men and lesbians,
Nothing.
Not only that, but celebs such as Ellen DeGeneres have made coming out not only okay, but comical.
This is so hard, but I think I've realized that I can't even say the word. Why can't I say the word? I mean, why can't I just say, I mean, what is wrong? Why do I have to be so ashamed? I mean, why can't I just say the truth? I mean, be who I am. I'm 35 years old. I'm so afraid to tell people. I mean, Susan, I'm gay.
But being gay wasn't always this accepting, or even comical. In early America, homosexuality was viewed as a sin, and people were even punished for being gay. The gay rights movement dates back to as early as the 1920s. In 1924, the Society for Human Rights was founded by Henry Gerber in Chicago, but because of public turmoil, the society disbanded. In the 1950s, Congress was passed a report titled Employment of Homosexuals and Other Sex Perverts in Government, which stated that homosexuality was a mental illness. Because of the report, over 4,000 men and women were discharged from the military and over 500 fired from jobs in government. This became known as the Lavender Scare. By the 1960s, things got progressively better. Illinois repealed its sodomy laws and became the first state to decriminalize homosexuality. Before this, being gay in Illinois was illegal. In 1969, the most controversial event happened in the gay rights movement, the Stonewall Riots. On June 28th, police invaded a popular gay bar in Greenwich Village called the Stonewall Inn. Patrons fought back, and soon hundreds of gay women and gay men were fighting officers crying out "Gay Power." These riots went on for days, and numbers of protesters reached the thousands. After the riots, activists decided to form multiple groups, including the short-lived Gay Liberation Front, which was the first group to use the word gay in its name. Also, on the first anniversary of the Stonewall Riots, the first gay pride parade was held, which was the first of many to come. By the 1970s, a very familiar face to us, Harvey Milk, wins a seat on the San Francisco Board of Supervisors and introduced and passed gay rights ordinance, which protected gays and lesbians from being fired.
Somewhere in Des Moines or San Antonio, there's a young gay person who all of a sudden realizes that she or he is gay, knows that if the parents find out, they'll be tossed out of the house. The classmates would taunt the child, and the Anita Bryans and John Briggs are doing their bit on TV, and that child had several options. Staying in a closet, suicide, and then one day that child might open a paper and it says homosexual elected in San Francisco, and there are two new options. The option is to go to California, stay in San Antonio and fight. 2 days after I was elected, I got a phone call, and the voice was quite young. It was from Altoona, Pennsylvania, and the person said, "Thanks. And you've got to elect gay people so that that young child and the thousands upon thousands like that child know that there's hope for a better world. There's hope for a better tomorrow. Without hope, not only gays, but those blacks and the Asians and the disabled, the seniors, The S's, without hope, the S's give up. I know that you cannot live on hope alone, but without it, life is not worth living. And you've got to give them hope. Thank you very much.
Years after all these events, the gay rights movement progressed, and by the 2000s, Vermont became the first state to legalize civil unions and register partnerships between same-sex couples. By 2004, Massachusetts became the first state to legalize gay marriage, and following them came New Hampshire, Vermont, Connecticut, and Washington, D.C.
My name is Michael Gibson, and I am a music educator at a high school in the Chicago Public Schools.
Where do you see yourself in the next couple of years?
In the next couple of years, I really hope to see myself more successful in the career I actually want to be in. And hopefully I will be successful in that career and still with my current partner, I'm hoping, with my 2 dogs, living the high life.
Do you see marriage in your future?
I do see marriage in my future.
And do you think like where our country's going, like it's a definite possibility, or are you still iffy about it?
Well, actually, I never thought much about gay marriage ever before. And then I had a dream about it, and then woke up the next morning and saw it was on the news, Illinois gay marriage, and I said, oh wow.
How does it make you feel?
It makes me feel really happy, but kind of scared too, because I don't know how it would feel to actually be married and gay, because it's not a normal part of society yet. It's still new, but also excited. Just excited to be seen in the eyes of the law as a truly married couple.
My name is Esmeralda. I am a case manager at a detention center. Well, I'm from Chicago, grew up here, and then I went away for college right out of high school. And I have a bachelor's in social work.
Okay, so are you completely out with your whole family and stuff, or?
The whole accepting myself and all of what you go through when you are gay and coming out. I had a rough time with in high school, which is one of the reasons why I went away. And while I was away, I was living in such a conservative town, I was not able to come out, but I did slowly to some friends, and I just recently came out to my parents about almost 3 years ago. I know that both my parents, my dad especially, emphasized the whole a marriage should be between a man and a woman, and that was the thing. It wasn't. And then she'd always say, it doesn't matter which way you go, we're always going to be here for you. And she made it very clear. So that made me feel more comfortable. And today, I can talk to her about my relationships just fine. Again, it's been a long journey. I'm talking about 3 or 4 years ago. So, and my dad's very open about it too. I thought that he'd be the one with the hardest time with it, and he's not.
So, as far as gay marriage, where do you stand on that? How do you feel about that?
Being gay, I have a lot of, I don't really know where I stand with gay marriage. I think that anybody should be able to marry and go through that, like civil unions I'm okay with. Yeah, everybody should be.
Did you ever think about, like, where would you be in, like, a few years, like, if you find a partner?
In a few years, I would love to get married and, have a ceremony and just be able to share who I'm with. But, through the courts and whatnot. Because with marriage, there comes, like, the, just, like, the benefits and all of that.
Yeah. Do you think that, it's going to happen within the way our, country's moving towards? Do you think
I think we've come a long way just with homosexuality and just being open about it. Now we're actually talking about it. I'm not saying that everybody's okay with it. We're always going to have people that are, going to oppose it. But I'm 26, and 10 years ago, we weren't as open. We didn't really see much of it on TV, and we didn't see much of like support groups in high schools or any of that. There wasn't a lot of help out, or people weren't really talking about it. So now it's on TV. You see it everywhere.
So if I were to say in this video, it's okay to be gay now, like, you do agree with that statement?
Absolutely.
Today, it is definitely okay and acceptable to be gay. The gay rights movement has come a long way and continues progressing every day. In a few years, it will be normal to see a gay couple walking out of a courthouse married. And finally, discrimination against race, ethnicity, gender, and sexual orientation will be no longer an issue.
At a certain point, I've just concluded that, for me personally, it is important for me to go ahead and affirm that I think same-sex couples should be able to get married.